Okay, romance is in the air. Let's talk about The Vow. Starring Channing Tatum, Rachel McAdams. This is where Hollywood is trying to outspark Nicholas Sparks, who's been famous for movies like The Notebook. This is based on a true story about a couple, Paige and Leo, which have been married. I think it's a marriage that lasted like 5 years or something like that. And they get in a car accident. The woman, Paige, wakes up from amnesia, and she's lost the last 6 years of her life. Not only she lost the years where she was married to Leo, totally forgotten about her husband. She has forgotten the fact that she left law school and decided to become an art student. She forgot why she left her ex-fiance Jeremy. She forgot why she is on bad speaking terms with her parents, and all those old feelings that she had before she even met Leo start to come back, and she starts falling back in that old routine and totally forgetting about Leo. This was one of the most romantic films ever, because you see Leo dealing with this problem of his wife having amnesia, and he's got to get her to fall in love with him all over again, and that's so romantic and everything. I love the message where they say it's the events that define us. And I would only add to that, it's how we deal with these events that define us as well as the events themselves. But the movie has its flaws. It's supposed to be a true story, yet some of it didn't feel real. How they get into the car accident. They get into the car accident in a wintry, snowy day. They stop in the middle of the road in a wintry, snowy day, and they get rear-ended. And the fact that they didn't have airbags is real, but feels real. But the idea that they stop in the middle of the road on a wintry day, who does that? That doesn't make sense to me. Why you would stop in the middle of the day? Of course, it's dangerous to stop in the middle of the day with winter, the slippery roads and everything. I mean, of course you may get rear-ended. Leo doesn't call Paige's parents when they're in the hospital. Like, what? You're not calling Paige's parents? She has the worst of the injuries? Yeah, she's on bad speaking terms, but that doesn't matter. Call the parents. The way he acts when he brings her home with the amnesia, he doesn't change his routine to take things slow and work back from the beginning to where he is in order to get her to fall in love with him. That doesn't happen until like halfway through the film. At first, he's just acting as normal. He's walking around, which I'm sure women are gonna love, seeing Channing Tatum's ass, walking around naked. Of course, we men are not left out. We get to see Rachel McAdams' bra and panties scene. Hey, we're not left out. But yeah, you should be taking things slow if your wife has amnesia, to try to work your way back to where you should be. Of course, we never really know how we would react to a situation like that. We could react exactly the way Leo's acting. Leo and Paige end up going to her sister's wedding. So he's going to see the sister-in-law's wedding. And the ex-boyfriend, Jeremy, is there. Paige's ex-fiance, I should say. And she's been flirting with him for a while. Ever since the amnesia, and he doesn't like that. And he gets drunk. This is a spoiler. Yeah, this is a spoiler. He gets drunk, and this scene is in the trailer. And I thought that Leo wasn't going to start the fight. I thought it was going to be Jeremy that was going to start the fight. No, it's Leo. It's Leo. He gets drunk. He makes a crack about how Jeremy may be liking the fact that his relationship with Paige is on the rocks, and oh yeah, that's a great thing to say when your wife has amnesia. That's a great way to get your wife to fall back in love with you. But the romantic scenes are really nice. The talks about the studio, the scenes in the art studio that she has, even though the skinny dippy scene is very sexy, it's also very romantic. There's a scene at the I believe it's at the sister-in-law's wedding where Leo makes this big thing about how much he loves her. The wedding that Leo and Paige had themselves in the beginning of the movie, that was so romantic, the way they read their vows off of menu cards. That was so cute and very romantic and everything. This was a very good movie. The other thing I guess I have to say I didn't like is the way I guess they played politics into this. They have a liberal being that a liberal is an artist, which is true. There are a lot of liberals out there that are artists. That's why we call it liberal arts. And a conservative, because before she was in law school, studying constitutional law, and they kind of make that like that's conservative. And I'm thinking, that's Tea Party bullshit. That felt like, you know how Hollywood tends to add a little bit of fiction into a true story. That's what it felt like. And why couldn't they make that a little bit more, that didn't feel totally real at times. And I think that's more of the Hollywood aspect, more so than the story itself. So, The Vow is a very good movie, very romantic. I give it an 8 out of 10. I would like to give it a 9, but a lot of it is very, I guess, typical for a romantic film, and whatever felt like it was fiction, I didn't like, just some of the reactions Leo does. But I guess that is a reality of itself. You don't know how you would really react in that kind of a situation. And 8 out of 10 is actually a very good rating. My favorite romantic films are When Harry Met Sally and Don Juan DeMarco, which I think are both great films. I know When Harry Met Sally is not really much of a romantic film, it's more of a comedy, but I find it a very nice film because it's very logical romance. And Don Juan DeMarco. Don Juan DeMarco is a great romantic story of how a young couple, young man helps bring romance back to an old man's life, another old man's life with his wife, just the people around him, and how he talks about the love he had with women and everything. Johnny Depp does very good in that film as well, as does Marlon Brando. That's my review of The Vow, 8 out of 10.